Alright folks, gather round. Let's talk about vapes. You know those sleek, futuristic devices that everyone pretends are so much safer than cigarettes? They come in all shapes and sizes with flavors that sound like they belong in a candy store rather than a smoke shop, but here's the kicker. Yeah, about that. Turns out those little clouds of vapor might be hiding something sinister. And by sinister, I mean potentially more harmful than traditional cigarettes. You see, while traditional cigarettes have been around long enough for us to understand their dangers, vapes are still relatively new on the scene. And the research is starting to show that they might not be the safer alternative we once thought. Shocking, right? It's like finding out your organic kale salad was doused in pesticide. We've been led to believe that vaping is the healthier alternative, a way to quit smoking without, actually quitting. But the truth is, we're still figuring out the long-term effects of inhaling heated chemicals directly into our lungs. And it's not just about the nicotine. There are other chemicals in those vape juices that could be causing harm. Scientists are still studying the effects, but early findings are concerning. Here's the thing, just because something is less harmful doesn't mean it's harmless. It's a dangerous misconception. It's like saying, well, jumping out of a second-story window is safer than jumping out of a 10th-story window, so I'm good. But in reality, both can cause serious injury. So, next time you see someone puffing on a vape, remember, it's not just harmless water vapor, it's a cocktail of chemicals that we're still trying to understand. Stay informed, stay safe. Let's break it down, shall we? Ever wondered what exactly you're inhaling when you take a puff from your vape? Let's dive into the mysterious world of vape juice. E-cigarrette liquid, or vape juice as the cool kids call it, is a delightful concoction of chemicals. It's not just a simple liquid, it's a carefully crafted blend designed to deliver flavor and nicotine in a vapor form. We're talking propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, nicotine, and a whole bunch of flavorings that would make Willy Wonka raise an eyebrow. These ingredients are mixed in precise ratios to create the perfect vaping experience. Now, I'm not a scientist, but I've watched enough episodes of Bill Nye the Science Guy to know that inhaling heated chemicals probably isn't doing our lungs any favors. The heat transforms these chemicals into an aerosol, which can have unknown effects on our respiratory system. Take propylene glycol, for example. It's a common ingredient in, wait for it, antifreeze. Yes, the same stuff that prevents your car's engine from freezing in the winter. Yes, you read that right. The stuff that keeps your car from freezing up in the winter is also chilling in your vape pen. But before you panic, let's clarify a bit. Don't worry though, it's food-grade propylene glycol, because apparently there's a difference. Food-grade means it's been purified to be safe for consumption, unlike the industrial-grade stuff used in antifreeze. So, while it might sound alarming, it's not quite as bad as it seems. But still, something to think about next time you take a puff. Okay, so we know vapes contain some questionable ingredients. But what exactly are we talking about here? Well, vapes often include substances like nicotine, propylene glycol, glycerin, and a variety of flavorings. These ingredients might sound harmless, but when you dig deeper, things get a bit murky. But how do they stack up against traditional cigarettes, those cancer sticks we all know and, well, most of us try to avoid? Cigarettes have been around for over a century and their dangers are well documented, but vapes, being relatively new, are still under the microscope. Well, here's the kicker. While cigarettes contain thousands of harmful chemicals, many of which are known carcinogens, vapes aren't off the hook. Sure, they might have fewer chemicals, but that doesn't mean they're safe. In fact, some of the chemicals in vapes can be just as harmful, if not more so, when heated and inhaled. Remember those flavorings we talked about? Turns out, some of them can turn nasty when heated and inhaled. For instance, certain flavorings can break down into toxic compounds at high temperatures, posing serious health risks. We're talking diacetyl, a chemical linked to a serious lung disease called popcorn lung. This disease causes scarring in the tiny air sacs in the lungs, leading to coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath. Yeah, popcorn lung. Not exactly the kind of buttery goodness you want in your life. And it's not just diacetyl. Other chemicals in vape flavorings can also pose health risks, especially when used over a long period. So, while cigarettes might be the reigning champs of bad-for-you-ness, vapes are like the scrappy underdog, quietly racking up health concerns of their own. It's a showdown where neither side comes out looking good, and the best choice might just be to avoid both altogether. Now I know what you're thinking, but John, vapes come in so many delicious flavors: cotton candy, mango smoothie, unicorn tears. And yes, I'll admit, the variety is impressive, but here's the thing. Those enticing flavors aren't just there to tickle your taste buds, they're also a brilliant marketing tactic to hook new users, especially young people. Think about it. Would you rather try a cigarette that tastes like, well, cigarettes, or a vape that tastes like a tropical getaway? It's like the old saying goes, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. Or in this case, you can make a vape taste like a strawberry cheesecake, but it's still potentially harming your lungs.